Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Christina, hello.
Nice to meet you, finally. After hearing so long about you from my mom, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. And you?
I'm good.
Perfect.
Before, just to start things off, to make it a little bit more fun, we're going to do this or that car edition.
This or that, okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so which one do you prefer, manual or automatic?
Automatic.
Okay. All-wheel drive or front-wheel drive?
Front wheel drive. Yes.
Cloth or leather interior?
Leather.
Why leather?
I think it's more, it's easier to clean.
Okay, so Subaru or Ford Mustang?
Mustang. The old one,
Yeah,
not the new one.
my favorite too.
Yeah.
Day or night driving?
Night.
Why?
It's more, roads are empty, and maybe have a nice music, and you can
Makes
just,
sense to just chill and
chill.
just drive.
Yes.
Okay. Brand new or used car?
New.
New. Alright. Diesel engine or hybrid engine?
First one, diesel.
Diesel.
No, hybrid.
Hybrid.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I thought you were more like a diesel person. I don't
No.
know why. Road trip or city driving?
Road trip.
Alright. Speed or comfort driving?
Comfort.
Colored or neutral car?
Neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
White.
Yeah, white or like now my car color is khaki sand.
Okay.
Khaki sand color.
Okay. Eco-friendly or high-performance car?
Eco-friendly.
Okay. And last one, automatic windows or manual window crack?
Automatic. Definitely.
Makes sense. Alright, so that is it for this or that. Is there anything you want to say first before we start?
I just want to thank you that you are doing this interview with me. I'm looking
Thank you for
forward to
having
your
me.
questions. Yes.
Okay. First question. What inspired you to get into this profession, and what has your journey been like so far?
I was 30 years old when I went to the school to become a driving instructor.
Okay.
And it was like, in my life, I did different things before. I'm a car mechanic originally, and then I worked in the IT business. But then I didn't know what to do next, so I thought about to do something new.
Okay.
And because my father was a driving instructor before, I went down this road.
Okay, so it runs in the family.
Yeah, it's in the family.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did your dad feel about it?
I think he liked it, or he liked it that I made this decision because at the beginning we also worked together.
Yeah.
He gave me all his knowledge that he had, his experiences.
Yeah.
He helped me with a lot of things at the beginning. I'm experienced instructor as well because I'm doing this now this year, 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still, it doesn't feel like 20 years for me.
Yeah.
I'm still, every day, I'm motivated, I like to do it.
Okay.
Every new student is a challenge.
Yeah.
Every new student gives me new ideas, new options.
So it's never boring for you. It's
Not
always
boring.
something exciting.
Exciting, all the time. Yes, yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool. All right. When did you first learn to drive?
I drove tractor when I was 14 years old
Okay.
because I went to a local farmer.
Yeah.
I helped him in my spare time
Okay.
and in my vacation time.
Okay.
And so with 14 years old, I got my tractor license,
Oh.
and I drove tractors.
Cool.
So these were my
I didn't know
first.
that you could do that before.
Yes, You can do that. And with this license, you can also use mopeds, like small motorbikes.
Okay.
So I did that.
So you can drive the big tractor and then the small one?
Yes, yes, yes. Maximum speed is 30 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
But you have quite the responsibility is quite high, because sometimes you have even a trailer with animals inside,
yeah.
something like that. You are on the field, but also on the normal roads. And back then, it was like this. You only had to do the theory. So the practical part you was learning at the farm. Yes, yes.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes.
I only know one other person who learned to drive with a tractor. So it's pretty interesting that I'm meeting somebody else who learns also with a tractor.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So this was my first experience. Then with 18 years old, I started driving motorbikes. And then maybe a year later, cars.
Okay.
Yes, so I started with 19.
So with 19.
19 years. Yeah.
But officially 14.
Tractors, yes. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that different when you're around the steering wheel. It's just that you have more responsibility when you're driving the tractor, of course. But when you're on the main road, then you have more responsibility of checking that other people are crossing the road on their shoes.
Yeah, in a way, you have I would say it's less dangerous because you cannot go the higher speeds. With the tractor, you cannot go to the highway, for example.
Yeah.
But the rules are exactly the same. So priority rules, for example.
Yeah.
But definitely you have. It's more technical because you need to know all these levers and all the things that they have. Back then, it was a very old tractor that I used. So you need to know clutch control, gear change, everything like that. And responsibility comes with the weight also of this big tractor, you know.
Was it difficult to like maneuver it?
Not really. You have a big steering wheel and you have this little knob that you can use to turn the wheel. But as I said before, sometimes you have animals in the trailer, maybe, and I mean it's a huge vehicle at the end of the day, right? So you have to really look far and understand what is coming from the other side. And maybe you need to position the truck a bit better on the road, something like that. Yeah.
That's cool. What would you recommend new drivers to know about a car? You're a mechanic before, so.
What they should know about the cars.
Like someone totally new like myself, I've never driven before.
Yeah, I would say these days you just need to know the basics. Like everything is explained in that booklet that you get with the new car.
Yeah.
So for example, tire pressure is very important, then tire tread is also important. This is something that you really should check every month. Then wash fluid, things like that. Maybe cooling fluid, something like that. If you still have a petrol engine, right? So these are the things that you can check on your own. If you are not sure, you better go to the car mechanic. Yes.
Okay. I've been curious about how the disabled are able to drive a vehicle. Could you tell me more about the specifics of our needs in order for them to drive it?
So if someone, for example, cannot use his legs anymore, then he needs to have additional elements in the car
Yeah.
that he can control acceleration and the brakes.
Okay.
So a very modern and good way is the gas ring. So you have on top of the steering wheel or below the steering wheel you have a ring
Okay.
that you can pull or push,
Okay.
and then the car is accelerating. It's like the replacement for the gas pedal.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's in a way we talked about this shift, gear shift levers
Yeah.
that some cars have.
Yeah.
The ring is more like it's going
Around.
all around the
steering
wheel,
Okay.
yes, behind or on top,
Yeah.
and you push it down or you pull it, and in this way you can move the car forward.
Okay.
Yes.
So this only works if somebody has like just disabled feet, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way that they can still drive if they have disabled hands?
Yes, there are more than one option for this disability. So, for example, if someone can only use one arm or one hand,
Yeah.
you have a knob that you can put on the steering wheel with a little device on it where you can change the blinker left, right, wipers, headlights, things like that.
Okay.
So it's one hand control.
Yeah.
It's called like a multifunctional device
Okay.
on the knob. And you can put that on the right hand side or on the left hand side, depends on which arm is affected. Yes. Yes.
So the car has to be specifically made for that person, or it's just something that you can add to a normal car?
You can add it to a normal car.
Okay.
You have to go to a car converter
Yeah.
that then helps you to find the right item. Basically, he will
Adjust it.
adjust everything in the car.
Okay.
Like you have to connect wires. You have to connect to some things to the car electronics. But then it works
Then it works fine.
perfectly fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
It's a very interesting field.
Yeah.
There are a lot of products that you can use, but only a few companies
Do
in
that.
this area here, for example, are even doing these conversions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's like really a special field, let's say. Not every garage can do that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the old days, everything was mechanical. So maybe you had a lever that went down to the accelerator,
Yeah.
and when you push the lever, you push the accelerator
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
So mechanical connection.
Yeah.
But now in these days, everything is electronic.
Yeah.
Sometimes even wireless connected
Yeah.
to the car.
Yeah.
But it works perfectly fine. It's very nice. Yeah. Also looks good, feels good, works perfectly fine. So very modern equipment. Yeah, it's cool.
What car would you recommend for a first-time car owner? Male and female.
I think it depends on the person. For example, if you live alone or if you have a family, I would more like make sure that the car is in good conditions. So maybe you can bring the car for a little check somewhere, that they have a good look at brakes, oil leaks, things like that. And also rust can be a problem, especially when it's a used car, right? This is my recommendation. Don't buy a shitty car if you have the chance. Cheap usually means bad
Something is
quality.
wrong.
Yeah, something is wrong. or when they tell you like, yeah, the car was driven only by my grandmother.
Yeah,
You
then it's
know,
definitely
she never
really,
used it
really-
in winter time.
Yeah.
It's perfect, and it's the only one that you can find in these conditions, and the price is 5,000 less than normal. Then you have to be very careful.
Okay.
Maybe one thing that you could use as a rule of thumb: go to an official dealer,
Okay.
right? So because then you have also the extra like warranty guarantee behind, and if something is coming up, you just go there and tell them, look, this is the problem, and then they will fix it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
When purchasing a car, what are 5 simple suggestions you would tell them to look out for at the car dealership? So when you go to purchase a car, what would you look for?
Gut feeling.
Okay, gut feeling.
The gut feeling.
Okay.
You know. And then definitely for me important, if the guy is taking time for you, explains everything in a good way, it's not pushing you, it's not rushing. Maybe also gives you the opportunity or the chance to test drive the car, things like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe also go to different dealers, like and compare the prices. And at the end, maybe you have 3 offers on the table, and then go with the gut feeling.
Okay.
You know, usually when the person feels good and you have a good feeling about the whole thing, maybe it's a bit more expensive, but maybe it's better to pay a bit more, but then have less troubles and problems with the car later on.
Makes
Yes,
sense.
yes.
Makes sense. Would you recommend them going with a mechanic when purchasing a car? Or
Definitely a good option, yes. I did that many times for friends and families. Because as a mechanic you have the eye, right?
Yeah.
You already can see, okay, there is something wrong maybe.
Yeah, you
They
already spotted before they
repainted.
even know something was wrong.
Yeah, they repainted something or
There's a slight
little thing,
right
there is something not right, or you open the hood and immediately you see there is something wrong
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, I highly recommend to bring someone with experience. Yes.
Makes sense.
Yes.
What are the most common mistakes new drivers make, and how do you recommend that, or how can they avoid it?
You mean while driving?
Yeah.
Most common mistake, I think, is vision related. They are not really looking far enough on the road. Because when you really look far, you can solve a lot of problems that you may have on the road.
Okay.
With you change one thing, and you solve a lot of problems. Just with that one change.
Okay. So for instance, like I'd be driving and I'm not paying attention, and somebody like is coming out, like they're pulling out from the parking lot. How would I avoid that? If I was...
The thing is, when you look far, maybe you see that coming from a far distance. You already observe the car is moving in your direction, and then you know it already. I have to keep an eye on this guy. If you are not looking far, you will see him pulling out in front of you.
Like
and then
last minute.
Last second maybe. And then you have to like hit the brakes or something, and you don't know what is going on behind you in that moment, right? So,
How do you teach students to handle high-stress situations, such as driving in heavy traffic or adverse weather conditions?
Breathing. This is my number one tool.
Okay.
It's breathing, because it's very easy and you can do it in the car, no problem. You know, you don't need to get out and do like crazy movements or something like that. It's So breathing is very important.
Yeah.
And then also maybe try to stay connected with what you are doing.
Yeah.
Like so, for example, on the red light, you have a few seconds that you can use to really feel the car, look around, remember where you are.
Yeah.
What are you doing at the moment?
Yeah.
I'm driving in the city. I'm on the road.
Yeah.
And in that way, you can calm down a bit,
Okay.
relax, and then you are prepared for the next step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever been driving with someone and then it suddenly starts hailing?
Yeah, happens, yes.
What did you do in that situation?
Slow down immediately. Maybe stop the car if needed in a good spot, if you can find. Maybe even somewhere under a building or in a parking garage or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it can be very dangerous, right? But slowing down is number one, I would say. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember that. What is the most challenging driving skill to master, and how do you help students to overcome that challenge?
I think everything that is connected with higher speeds, especially highway entrance, for example,
Yeah.
because you have to do a lot of things at the same time. And people are usually trained to slow down when they are under stress.
Yeah.
So I tell people, if you feel stressed, slow down, because then you have more time to, for example, check mirrors or blind spots or things like that.
Yeah.
But on the highway, you cannot really do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to build up speed from the beginning
Yeah.
when you are entering the highway. Then you should not lose control. So lane discipline is very important.
Okay.
At the same time, you have check your mirrors, interior, exterior, and you have to check your blind spot while going 100 or more.
Yeah.
And then you have to give the indicator in a good time, and then you merge, right?
What happens if you're trying to merge and the person is being... Can't use that word. it's being a difficult person.
You mean the
like
one?
you're trying to come in.
Yes.
And they're already on the highway, but they're not
Okay,
giving you
they're
the
pushing
space.
you or blocking you or not giving you any
Any
options
space
to
to come through.
escape.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say you have two options there. One option is speeding up if you still can to basically escape a bit from that situation and then merge
With the
in
other.
front.
Okay.
I would say now you describe the scene a bit like the car is already close, and way faster than you, then it's maybe better to slow down a bit and merge behind.
But what happens if like you're trying to come in on the highway, the person is blocking you, and there's somebody else already behind you and they're already speeding as well?
Okay, the car behind you has the responsibility for you.
Oh, okay.
So he needs to maintain a
Observe
good
what you're
distance.
doing.
Yes.
Okay.
So he is responsible for what is going on in front of you. And I'm not talking about hitting the brakes. I'm just talking about
Like easy
slowing down a bit
Yeah.
so that the car who is pushing you overtakes faster and then you can merge behind. Yes.
What are your thoughts on the growing trend of electric vehicles, and do you think they require different driving skills or technique compared to the traditional like manual cars?
So first I want to say yes, I like electric cars. I think it's a good option. It's maybe not for everyone. When we quickly go back which car is the right one for you.
Yeah.
Maybe when you are more the city guy and you are driving only short distances, the electric car is maybe good for you. If you are also planning to do like holiday traveling with your whole family, maybe then you should better go with a diesel or petrol engine, something like that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not against electric cars.
Yeah.
I like the way how they basically drive very smoothly.
Yeah.
I have the same in my hybrid car. It goes electric all the time. So I like it. Driving is smoother. It's more relaxing compared to a normal car.
Yeah.
And now driving skills, yes, it's different because they are accelerating much faster than a normal car.
Yeah.
So when you push that pedal, the car really goes quickly and fast, speeding up. Like
compared to like a manual where you have to adjust the
yes, or even with petrol engine and automatic transmission, you have much more delay there at the beginning.
Okay.
It's more like electric car is more like digital. You press the pedal and the car moves immediately. Petrol usually you press and then you have like 1 or 2 seconds and then he's moving, right? So there is a difference, and also a difference is with when you slow down, when you lift the foot from the accelerator, electric car is bringing back energy to the batteries. And you can really feel that. So when you lift your foot, the car is slowing down drastically. So a lot of people, it's called one pedal driving, a lot of people are only using the accelerator to adjust the speed and even stop the car. And when you, for example, when you learn to drive on a Tesla, and then you switch to a normal car, the chance is very high that you crash first time. Because when you lift the foot on a petrol engine, the car will keep going. He will basically
like
sailing. He will not reduce speed at all when it goes down slightly. So you need to come over to the brakes and manually press and slow down, which you don't need to do with the electric cars. But even there, every car is different. You can have one electric car, then another one, it's a bit different. You can also adjust these things. You know, for example, how much energy should go back into the batteries. You can adjust that. Everything is adjustable. So when you change your car, when you use, for example, a rental car or any other car from a friend, always make sure first that you read a bit about it, maybe in the manual of the car. Then try slowly, adapt, learn the behavior of the car.
Would you do that in like an empty space? Would you try to do it in empty space, of course?
Maybe not just like jump in, turn it on,
And just go.
then go to the main road, speed up to 50, and then at the first roundabout you are struggling and you cannot slow down or whatever, or you have your first accident after 100 meters, right?
Makes sense.
So always make yourself familiar with the car that you have. This is, by the way, true for every car. But especially when you switch from an electric to a petrol or the other way around, be very careful.
Okay. When teaching parallel parking or maneuvering tight spaces, what specific techniques or drills do you find most effective for building confidence and precision?
So for me, vision is key. Vision is 95% of driving is vision. When you move forward, and as well when you are moving backwards.
Okay.
So most people are making the mistake that they have like a little plan in their head, how they, like an idea, how they would like to park their cars.
Yeah.
And then they are sitting there looking at the steering wheel and trying to find out in which way they should turn the wheel. My approach is a bit different.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you need to know in which way you have to turn.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But my approach is more like first stop the car and then look back.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go? Ah, okay. There is my parking space.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe use the car behind as a reference point.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
Yeah.
Then first move the car very slowly. Then turn the wheel and keep looking at your reference point.
Okay.
And then you will immediately understand if the car is going into the right direction or not. Right?
Okay.
And you mentioned tight spaces.
Yeah.
When you are maneuvering in a tight space, you should always use the space that you have. A lot of people are stopping 2 meters before the other car.
Yeah.
In that way, parking is not very efficient.
Yeah.
You are losing too much space there.
Yeah.
So really do it slowly and control. Keep your foot on the brakes and move the car. Maybe like 30 centimeters close to the other object, something like that, right? And then you are, let's say you are halfway in,
Yeah.
then you turn around and you are looking in the front again, and you find a reference point in the front.
Yeah.
So in that way, you have many things covered.
Yeah.
First, you are going into the right direction. Usually people who are parking in that way, they are not thinking about the wheel anymore.
Yeah.
Because they automatically understand in which way they have to turn.
Yeah.
And it's also good for safety. Because when you look where you are going,
Yeah.
then you know no one is there,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
But when you are sitting here and you're moving the car backwards and you're looking at your wheel and maybe someone is behind your car, you will have a big problem,
Yeah.
right?
Because sometimes also kids will just run out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And then maybe another tip that I have is use the camera
Yeah.
because it's one of the best tools that we have in the cars.
Okay.
Because when you look from here, you cannot see the kid behind maybe.
Yeah, 'cause
but
there's
when you
no-
look in the camera, you can see it.
Okay.
And then also use the park distance control.
Yeah.
In front and in the back of the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually, I would say I'm kind of old-fashioned. I like older cars. So Mustang is like my dream car, right?
Yes.
So I was thinking, like, if I was supposed to get that, would that hinder me from like seeing properly? Because I'm already short. So look back to see like a kid is behind. That would be kind of difficult. Isn't it?
I think the Mustang is different, right?
Yeah.
It's very flat,
It's so
low build car.
Yeah.
So it's not like the SUVs that we have these days, you know, very high where you cannot see what is behind.
Yeah.
So
Should be okay.
shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, shouldn't be a problem.
How do you gauge a student's readiness for a driving test?
How do I what?
How do you assess
okay.
like if they're ready for the test itself, or maybe they should not do it yet?
Mock test
Okay.
is a good thing.
Okay.
So I ask my student what he thinks. You know, are you ready or not? What are your weak points? Things like that.
Okay.
And when he's agreeing to do a mock test,
Yeah.
then we do a mock test.
So you do the driving route together and see like if
Yes, and examine it
Yeah.
then in that moment, and I will guide him through the traffic.
yeah.
But I give not any information or instructions or something like
help.
that. No help.
They're on their own.
Only when there is something dangerous is coming up.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I will be silent, and at the end we will talk to each other, yes,
Okay.
what went well, what didn't go so well, what should we work on it, improve, you know. And it's also a good way because some people are really nervous and, you know, like sweating and,
yeah, I
you
can
know,
imagine, especially
tension.
if you don't know the person, like seeing that one person that's new to you, you're just like, what is going to happen now, right? If that's the case, if you know or if you think that they would get nervous, is it possible for you to also drive along with them in the test?
Yes, this is possible, yes.
Okay.
We can sit in the back, but we have to ask the examiner if it's okay for them. If they say, yeah, it's okay, we can sit in the back.
Okay, so
but we are not allowed to help in
okay.
any ways, right?
Yeah.
So that's for sure. But some people, a few weeks ago I had this situation. The lady said, I cannot do it without you. You know, you have to come with me. And she had a problem because she's not handicapped, and she had to redo her license.
Okay.
But she had a bad experience from the past. When she was young, she's the same age as me, like 30 years ago, something like that. She had a bad experience with an examiner. And this sticks, you know, traumatizing. And then I was sitting in the back, and she was happy.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything, just sitting there, observing, checking.
That the person
Yes,
is there.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did she pass?
Yeah.
Oh,
With no problem. She did that very well. Yes.
That's good. Must have been, the instructor must have been like,
Yes.
Okay, and the last question is for someone who just finished their exam, how do you suggest that they move from driving with an instructor, with an instructor as opposed to driving now independently? How would you suggest that they transition smoothly into that?
I think this is also part of the education itself.
Yeah.
I like to give my students a lot of space when they are learning with me.
Yeah.
So I'm not constantly instructing and talking to them. You know, like blah 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 blah, do this, do that. So they really have the feeling that they can drive on their own, right? So, like for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, they have like, I tell them focus on something.
Yeah.
Like for example, let's focus on improving blind spot checks.
Yeah.
And then they can work on their own.
Yeah.
So they're basically alone.
Yeah.
And in that way, I think you build up this skill.
Yeah.
And when they get their license, I think they are ready to do it on their own. But it's a critical phase, I would say, right?
This is like when you're unsure, you don't have somebody there to ask like, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Or is this the right position I should be in or not?
Yeah. I mean, the first, let's say like 3 months after getting the license is pretty safe because people are still like in that, okay, I'm a learner, I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
And after the first 3 months,
Yeah.
accidents and crashes starts increasing for young drivers, especially male drivers.
Yeah.
Because
speeding.
after the first few weeks, okay, now I can do it, now I can go a bit faster, now I can, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's even more dangerous when you add other things to this scene. For example, if you put the girlfriend next to the boy,
he's gonna feel like he needs to show off.
And then maybe the friends are sitting in the back, and then maybe it's Friday night, and then maybe it's an empty road,
Yeah.
straight ahead, maybe the speed limit is 80,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
This is very toxic, and the chance that you are getting involved in an accident when you are adding all these ingredients to that
That situation.
mixture, let's say, or soup, is 4 times higher
Wow.
than in a normal situation.
Not expecting you to say that.
I just heard that it's a UK data,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
maybe more or less the same here in Switzerland. Yes. Yeah. And I think this is also our part as driving instructors to really hand over the responsibility. You know, at the beginning of the journey, when they start learning, we are fully responsible for everything.
Yeah.
But then slowly, towards the
Release
end,
control to them.
everything goes to the learner
Yeah.
responsibility. Yeah.
Oh, that was the last question. And it wouldn't be a Christina channel without something to do with food.
Food. Okay.
So we're gonna do the
I like
last.
food.
I'm a big foodie. I love trying out new food and stuff. So
Yes.
my palate is more, I'd say, vastly open than my parents, for sure.
Okay.
So, it's the last round, right? This or that.
Oh. Pizza or pasta?
Which one?
Pizza.
I wasn't expecting that. So, rusty or French fries?
French fries.
Really?
Yeah.
As a Swiss?
Mm-hmm.
Not so unexpected. Cake or ice cream?
Cake.
Steak or fried chicken?
Steak.
I think you're a steak kind of person.
A steak, yes, definitely.
Fondue or rocket?
Fondue.
Do you play the game as well? And when you dip the thing in the bread inside it, and if it falls off, do you play that kind of game?
Not really.
Zop or normal sliced bread?
Top. Yeah.
Okay. Do you prefer the smaller one or the bigger one?
Bigger.
Yeah,
Yes.
bigger is better.
Yeah, better, yes.
House bratwurst or serverlot?
Bratwurst. Yeah.
Do you go camping sometimes?
No, not anymore.
You can. Fondue chinoise or rabbit soup?
Rabbit soup. What? Chinoise, please.
And last but not least, carrot cake or black forest cake?
Carrot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is it for today's interview. I am so happy that I could do this with you.
Thank you so much.
For taking the time out.
Thank you.
Actually, I have a small gift for you.
Oi! Gifts. I'm getting something. What is this?
A very own small car.
It's very cool. I like them. Can drive, right? It's
The remote control. I think it should be.
very cool.
If not, you can always have it inside the car.
Nice. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure. And thanks again.
Yes, I look forward to maybe we can do this another time, maybe in the car when I'm learning to drive.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, enjoy the rest of the day, and
You too.
I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Ciao. Merci.